Folks, and welcome back to the last Starship. Last we left off, we had these set of fighters, and I've changed them a little bit. I'll talk about the evolution here. I recorded all of this already, but sometimes things don't work out the way they should, and it didn't do everything. So this original fighter here um, had some problems that I don't know if were actual problems, but I made them problems. I got rid of the FTL drive. I didn't want to have it. I wanted to clear up some space. I also didn't want to have my guys wear spacesuits the whole time because I was concerned that they'd have oxygen issues and all that. We still have that problem with this ship in particular and the first three that I bought. So they're back in that. I also had to get some CO2 scrubbers because we had a bunch of CO2 issues. You can see we have oxygen around, but we had some problems that we needed to deal with. We did the same thing over on this one. It's the exact same problem. And then we had the exact same problem on this one. So what I did was I bought another one and I tried to solve the problem. All I really did here was I lengthened the end of this ship, which allowed me to do a couple of things. Number one, I moved all of the kind of oxygen gear over here, moved this over just so that I could have a little bit more space, and I shifted these all down. What that really did was in the pipes area, it cleared that up. Oops, there's one that needs to get cleared up. Oh, that also needs to get cleared up. My bad. But it cleared that area up pretty nicely and also kept the oxygen routing all over there because the other ships are a mess with how that all works. Cables don't really matter. That's pretty easy, all well and good. It allows us to have a little bit more storage space because if you remember, the old end of the ship was over here. So I wouldn't really be able to fit a whole bunch of stuff. So now we have an oxygen loader, we have an air duct, we have an oxygen tank, we have CO2, and then we gather all that CO2 into a small tank that eventually we will put on a air reprocessor thingy on there. I did also throw on a couple more thrusters on here just because I could, so I did, but I cannot put any more on there. So that's going to be the extent of that. Now I'm going to save this ship or export the ship. We're going to create a new export. We're going to call this Red Moon Rocket. We're going to call it Light Fighter. All right. So that's all well and good. I'm happy with that. We have 4 total fighters. We have our big old bad boy right there. The Temptress is over here. But really, that was the light stuff. The big thing that came was over in NG4. We have our gas collector here, which is doing its job. I switched it over. These guys were gathering up all the gas, and all I did was right-click on this and change it over to explosives because it just needs that refined stuff. It goes in there, and then we have explosives. Lots and lots and lots of explosives, which is fantastic. I'll unpause it so we can see them going. But basically, over here in logistics, all I have to do is open this up, find the explosives, and you can see that we have 215 on board the gas collector. But more importantly, on the JMC mining station, if I go over to that one, I did some things. Again, I'm sorry I didn't capture all this. Oh, I did capture it, but things happen. So we have a nice array of mining platforms and a nice array of drone ships. All of that stuff is going to drop off the metallic materials or the minerals, that we're looking for here onto this track. Now, this track, we have robotic arms on both sides, pulling that off, throwing it on here so that they can go into smelters. They'll automatically grab them, throw them on the smelters. They're set to make the ingots, and then it goes on here and then gets distributed into this. And then we're making explosives here. So we've already made a few. I already have a full thing of explosives there, or not explosives, we're making cannon shells. So that one's full of cannon shells. This one's about to be full of cannon shells. That one's full of bullets. So we're out of storage when it comes to that stuff. I did move over here. Eventually what's going to happen here is I'm going to have this, all this area is going to be out of here. We'll have dual layer smelters. So there'll be smelters on the top and bottom feeding off the same track. They'll feed in over here, I think, and go to kind of get sorted for storage and then eventual munition stuff. So we can just start pumping that out. But this is going to be my factory ship for all that. You can see I also started making bunches track because we need that to be able to do stuff. We already have a butt ton of track over here. So this ship is ready to rock and roll all of that stuff. Eventually what I'm going to do is build a transport ship that's able to transport all of this good stuff out to other places, but I haven't done that yet. We also have some storage crates that I can kind of establish here as well if we needed to. I'm not too out to do that quite yet, but we could. So I'm going to just make a nice big line of storage tanks or storage thingies there. And then we're going to make some more places for bullets and or cannon shells. So we'll start adding more cannon shells here. And then this one that is getting full, that's going to go over to bullets. And this one's going to go to bullets too. That's going to cause our guys to have to move all around a whole bunch, and that's fine. I'm not really worried about that. We can see that our ingots are going, and basically as we clear up space there, we have all of that. What's really cool about this, though, is if we keep all this stuff where it's at, we can just infinitely make explosive stuff. The only problem that we really have is that we either need to transport all of the stuff to us here, or by the other end, we have to have... We're probably going to need 2 factory ships. One that's going to, or freighters, should I say. One that's going to be able to transport mined material over to it, and then we can transport it over here. And then one to take all of the cannon and bullets and send them over to the other one. But that's all of that stuff going on. Let's go ahead and fabricate a new ship. We have our light one here. So I'm going to go in here and get that. Got that. It's coming alive. There we are. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my stuff to buy all this stuff. So if fuel ever goes below 5, we want to buy that. Water, if it ever goes below 2, I want to buy it. Oxygen, if it ever goes below 5, I want to buy that. And food only needs to be about 3. All right, so those are all of our auto trades. We have those 4 set up. I need crew, so I'm going to grab all the spacesuits. I only want 1, 2 crew, and I need another weapons officer, but that's okay. We'll get there. And then I also need to get bullets. And cannon shells. All right, it's saying we have low stuff. That's fine. I know we do. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about that in the slightest. They're going to distribute all that stuff. We do have water. It just hasn't been had a chance to get unloaded yet, but power's going on. There we go. The ship is fired up now. And then all of these cannon shells can eventually distribute it into here. So we have multiple options of how we could go about the next step here. And again, I haven't played this game far enough in here to know what that next step is. So right now we have a crew of 5. And I need 1 more weapons officer to be able to do the next step. Because if we go into combat, I want to have 2 crew that are able to move things around and 1 guy that's able to or 1 thing that's able to do a little bit more there. So if we were to take 1 of our 2 crew and put them onto the weapons when we arm up, that's not going to work out so well for us. So I'm just going to kind of burn some time here, and hopefully there's our weapons officer right as we were speaking. It's ready to go. All right, so we have that. Again, I don't know how to rename these things. So we have all our fighters. This one, for whatever reason, a shuttle keeps attaching to it, and I think it has to do with the logistics here, but I don't know what's going on with it. I also love this hull. Look at this thing. Cannon shells, 431. What I love about that is that if we need to during an operation or something, we could, in theory, dock and be able to have those get distributed out to the other ships. In a perfect world, what I do is go back to this guy, and I'd get rid of one of these thrusters or both and put a drone bay on there so we can transport things from ship to ship. But that's a futureless problem as well. All right. So we're going to take the Foundry ship because we need that to fire up the Stargate. So we'll start that process because I want to go out and see what we have here. So we're going to power that up. There it is. Power it up, starting up. Fantastic. All right. Now, in the Stargate, we're going to go over to FTL. We're going to jump. We want that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to prepare our jump for all of those once they're all ready. Oh, we have a trade coming in, so let's wait for that. Actually, let's just jump. I don't care. I mean, I know $140,000 is a crazy amount of money, but when you have $11.4 million, it maybe gets to be a little bit less in the terms of money there. So we'll let it do its thing. All right. So this is one of the things that we didn't have before. This long-range hyperspace scope, we didn't do that. So what we're going to do is scan sector areas for interest around the system ships located in. Scans only after it's completed. Only one ship in a system can do a sector scan. Okay, so we'll do the sector scan. Oh, look, they come out. That's cool. Hovering a mouse over the current system will reveal the radius. Click. All right, so we just got to pick what we want to survey next. So we have this guy here. Local surveys allow points of interest to be accessed by the FTL. Ships need to have supercomputers installed and must be the same sector to participate in a local survey. Okay. Non-survey, multiple ships can contribute towards local survey. Point of interest, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Click next to speed up the survey. I did. Oh, okay. I'm just going through its thing. All right, there we go. All right, we got that one done. Sector survey, find new system explorer. Keep an eye out for special loot and survey derelict ships that can be researched. Okay, that's cool. All right. What I'm more concerned about now is these two places, fortresses. That sounds ridiculous. If you've watched any of my, oh come on, if you watched any of my stuff here with whatchamacallit, Mindustry, you know that fortresses are kind of the bane of my existence in lots of games. So that's fun, but we'll figure it all out here. I'm going to leave the foundry ship here. That's our ticket back and forth to all of that. So we're going to go over to the hull, and we are going to prepare, we get into battle stations. So I want all of this going. I know I don't have robotic arms to load all these things, but we do have 10 crew that are not assigned anything right now. Everybody else is assigned stuff. One way to take I digress. You can see that these guys have ENS period. I'm assuming that means enlisted. And then over here we have Lieutenant West, Lieutenant. So these are all LTs. Now, if you can't tell if that's his chair head or somebody else's head, you can just kind of move down, and that's Benson, and we have all of that. But you can see we still could fit on more of these without any issue and be good to go. We have lots of food that I should probably get some storage for it. So, I mean, like these two things are pumping out food, which is fantastic. That's a good problem to have. All right. I also love it says low fuel with 10,000 on board, but that's again, different problem. Let's go ahead out to here. We'll prepare to jump. We are going to take all of the fighters with us. They're all getting aligned here, hopefully, maybe, sort of. Let me abort that jump, prepare to jump. Where are you guys going? I don't know why they're flying away. Let me see what's going on here. Let me undo battle stations for all of these. And let's go ahead and do a fleet formation. All right. So we're going to do the automatic fleet combat AI, all of that stuff. Let me pause again, go out to our sector map, try to prepare a jump for this thing, and we're going to take all of these bad boys with us. All right. Wish us luck. Here we go. I'm going to control the big ship. I'm going to leave the 5 other smaller ships to kind of fend for themselves because I don't know what we're getting into here. So immediately when we get in, I'm going to pause this. Oh my. Okay. We're not going to worry about fleet formation. They have 1, 2. They have lots of light fighters. They have a pirate fortress. My goodness. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our problem right now is we are turned around. We have no defenses on the back, so we need to rotate very quickly here. And we are trading fire here. I should also take a look. All these guys are in tactical mode. I forgot to ship this guy's mode into tactical, so that sucks. But the swordfish is getting smacked around right now. Not too bad, but hopefully much more here real soon. Even if it's not a total win, but if we can knock out some of their bigger stuff, that would be preferable. Let's see if we can spin this bad boy all the way around. There we go. We got one already taken care of. Ooh, our guys are doing some work. Look at them putting in the work over there. Heck yes. We got one fighter that has heavily damaged and it's not going to survive, and that's okay. Look at this firefight going, baby. Yeah. This ship needs to make it's a small miner, so I'm not super worried about that one. We're going to spin it around again. It looks like we're going to need to get some lightning things too, because lightning seems to be very prevalent on these ships. Or in these areas, should I say. There we go. That one's donezo. We did lose, so we're down. We lost 2 fighters of ours. But you can see, they're on the ropes, man. They just have this guy left. The DRX Monero. There we go. Hostiles have been destroyed. We can pull out of that. We'll go back into fleet formation. And what goodies do they have? Oh, we got lots of goodies. Look at all that weaponry that we have there. Do I have any storage things? No, unfortunately not. But we do have lots of stuff we're bringing on board, which is a plus. It's not the best, but it's okay. We're not jumping anywhere quite yet, but I want to real soon. A little bummed out that we lost 2 ships. I got to take a look and see which ones we got knocked out. So this one, okay, that's not one of the ones I want. That's one I want. And that's one I want. Okay, so we lost 2 of the lesser. I'm not going to call them bad. Ooh, that's cool looking. They're the lesser ones, but look at that, man. We did the work. Heck yes. So we're collecting some of the loot. We're going to get out of here in a hot second. We just need to get all this stuff on board. My goodness. So we can scan the sector here real fast. We got lots of friendly ships on board here, and then we're going to, not Stargate, we're going to go back to our sector map. We're going to head out back here. And these guys are going to jump with me. And then we need to get all of our drones back on board as quickly as we possibly can. 6 of them still out there. Still have 5 drones deployed. Let's see, we need more storage. So I'm just going to go bring up any cargo. We're just going to store it over here. We'll have to manufacture more storage bins here soon, but we just need to get all of our ships on board. Looks like we got that. And let's jump. There we go. All right, repair. 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 And then they're all coming back in. Let's also take a look at our auto trade stuff. I want to set stuff up for like our defensive things. So if there's bullets, if we're below, let's say 16, I want to buy those. If we're below, let's say 30 on this, yeah, 20. Let's do that. Let's buy them. All right, so that one has 101 shells left. This one only has 25. My goodness, this guy got his hands dirty. But look at that. I mean, I'm super pumped. We not that. We knocked out one of their fortresses. So let's go ahead and go back to our ship here. Let's scan. We'll select that one. All right, so that one's doing that. We have another one there. We have more there. I don't know what this does other than finding new spots for us to go. And that's great. What I really also kind of want to do, we had this ship, which was doing awesome stuff of making all kinds of stuff for us to go out and sell and do all that. I think we might want to go back to that. So I'm going to trade here. We're going to sell all of those. And then I want to buy some more mining stuff. So, confirm that. I'm going to disassemble. 1, 2, 3. And basically, I'm just trying to find spots where we can get things won here. So this guy needs more fuel. I should set up a... Do I have an auto trade set up for fuel? Yeah, I do. But let's go ahead and increase that a bit more. We've no low fuel in the gas collector. We can trade for that. Do I have auto trade set up on that? I do. Okay. I'm not worried about you. Oh, I am worried about you because we're not connected. Okay. Nothing can dock with us because we're already pre-docked. So we got to undock here real fast. That's going to allow us to get some fuel on board. Actually, I should buy more fuel. We'll do that. I'm just going to help us fill this area up here. So we got our fuel. This bad boy's doing its thing. We're good on that front, so I'm happy with that. This thing, I want to figure out more in detail, but that's a future us problem. I love how many tracks we have, though. That makes me happy. And let's go back over to the Temptress, because we can do some work with that one and get it set. So the mining laser, we have that. I'm going to move it down as far as I possibly can. There we go. We already should have our cables in. Fantastic. What else do we have? The hyperspace scope, sensor. I can get rid of all of that. The loader can go away. The mining laser, that's fine. Storage crates, heck yeah. Okay. So that's all well and good. I think we'll be in good shape with all of that. Let's go ahead out and look at our sector map and see where we want to mine at. Oh no, we can mine right here, can't we? That's the beauty of this sector. That's right. I totally forgot how awesome this sector was, that we can do all of the things. So do we have any precious ore is the question. Doesn't appear to be so. So let's just go out here then. And I just want to mine just that. And this bad boy's heading over. We're going to set this guy up for the whatever, Tilium? Is that what it's called? QRST. There we go. No. TIL. There we go. All right, so I got a new nebula here. Going back to this guy. What's your problem? What do we have problems with you? Low fuel. Okay, well, we can change that problem. And I also do want to set it up so that if it's below 10, I want to auto buy that stuff. Same with food. Water. And oxygen. I don't think we're going to have any problems with that stuff. But just in case we do, I want to make sure we get all of that stuff on board, in place, ready to roll. All right, also on this, we can sell some of the stuff that we don't need. Like, I don't want to get rid of any of that. We have lots of food. We can probably sell a good chunk of that for a good amount of money. We could probably get rid of a little bit of compost. We can get rid of all of that. Get rid of some of that. I don't know what the processors do, so I'm going to hold on to them. It seems like an excessive number of spacesuits. But I'm not going to do anything bad with that. And right now, I'm just trying to make some money so that we can continue to finance our operations. Because we were at $30-something million. Now we're all the way down to 11. So we need to do some more work here to be able to get all this to function and do its thing. In our trading area here, I want to sell... Once we get her above 70, I just want to sell them all. Actually, you know what? We don't have to do that. Let's just, once you get above like 25, let's sell. And again, the whole point of this is just to provide us a little bit of easy income that's not going to be too big of a deal. Some other things we could look at, we could send some cargo. We have rescue ship missions. We have pirate stuff. So we have lots of options available to us. It's really just a matter of what do we want to do and how do we want to make this all work. But the Temptress is in NG0. Our foundry ship's over in another area. That's fine. I don't know why the throttle is running like crazy on this one. Okay. So we have that. Trading-wise here, it looks like we're going to be okay. Let me go back to this ship here and let's do sector scan, sector map, and let's scan that bad boy. And am I able to... I can make ships here too. Fantastic. This game's helping us solve so many easy to solve. Like, we're solving so many problems right now. It makes this life so much easier. All right, so I want to... let's see if we have more smelters. We do. Fantastic. One, two, three. Cables, boom, boom, boom. And then we'll do that. All right, what I can do here is I can put... Let's see. I'm going to do something maybe dumb, but maybe smart. We're going to install a short robot arm. Okay, I have to move these down. So I'm going to dismantle these real fast. 1, 2, 3. There is a method to my madness. Just give me a sec. Let's see if we can buy robot arms. I just need 2 of them right now. I'll need more later, but that's a future us problem. And then I want to install short robot arms. How these work is you see a little diamond and the arrow. The arrow points to where you want it to go. So I'm just going to have these here like so. And then if this all goes properly, one, two, three. Cables, cables, cables. And then we can set this as the Tilium, or whatever it's called. This one can also be the Tilium ore. Now, I'm using a lot of crew members to transport all this stuff right now. And that will hopefully not be as much of a big deal a little bit down the road here. But you see now that these are loading in there, these guys are firing up and we're able to sell stuff. And we have crew that are not busy. Just taking a look here. This ship is done with its research phase, so we're good on that front. And we're just trying to survive and make sure that we have enough cash to do all the things right now. But I'm very happy with where we're at. I do want to take a look here and just see. So, like, Tilium crystals are $2,000 for a stack of 10. Let's go to precious. Like, we sold a ton of precious metals here, but look at that. $8,000 a pop. Metal ingots are only $80. So, like, yeah, we're doing the right one with what we need to do right now. And I'm real happy with where we're at. And these things work shockingly well. So the eventual idea, if you're playing this like hardcore, or better than I am, you just have these things unload robots onto a track. Track goes to a storage thing or right into this, and then you can just kind of keep it rolling. But we're not there yet. We'll get there. Just a matter of time. But we're making money. That's all I really care about right now, is that we're making money. All of this stuff is going on. It's doing its thing. I'm very, very happy with where we're at right now. I do want to buy some more ships because we lost 2 of our heavy fighters. I want to buy 2 more. So let's fabricate a new heavy fighter. It's only 2.3 mil, so we can afford that. So we'll do that bad boy. All right, and then we'll set up our trades. We need oxygen. And I find it easier to just set the auto trade up every time. I wish you could include this as part of the kind of base when you start off, like when you make a copy of a ship. Maybe it would be cool if you could just have this be part of it, but whatever. All right, then I need crew. So we'll grab our 6 spacesuits, 2 crew, 4 weapons officers. That never happens. That's awesome. Cannon shells. Sure, we'll buy all that. And bullets. Sure, we'll buy all that. All right, we got another survey completed, so we'll go back here. We'll survey scan. We'll go back out to the sector map, and we'll get this one going. Just want to see that number move. Looks like it is. Yep, it's moving. Good. That's all I need. Why? Oh, this ship, man. Something's going on with this ship, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why we keep having this issue where stuff's coming in docked there. So let's try to see if we can dismantle this. Or can I can't undock from that, right? Oh, they're coming online. Okay. I'm sorry. The auto buy just wasn't doing what I needed to do, I think. All right, but we have oxygen reestablished. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. And it's interesting because it carries over like the storage for this stuff. Like if we go, oh, that's our new ship. I'm sorry. But yeah, it carries over all of that. Even though I didn't bring that, it carries over lots of that information. So I'll load up with the cannon shells. See, this is what I'm talking about with these things. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming it feeds both of these. I don't. Oh, no, there's another one here that I don't know how those work. I have absolutely no idea how those work. The only problem we run into with this is that we only have, 2 crew, so getting everything loaded on and moved around takes forever compared to what it would if we had more crew. But more crew also means more expenses, means more use of materials, means more of everything. So I don't want to necessarily do that. But we are, why are you flying? What are we doing? Like, I understand that you're joining the rest of the crew. Okay, whatever. All right, so this bad boy is ready to go again. I'm gonna do one more, I think. All right, so oxygen, food. Let me go over to crew. Got that going, and I'll get some weapons officers once we get more of this stuff on board. I'll grab all that stuff. Oxygen's coming online. There we go. Now that we have breathable oxygen. Once these guys kind of chill and get a chance to put their spacesuits off, then I can go in and, well, I guess I can get these guys now. But I'll need 2 more for the next steps here. But we got that. So we're back up to our 5 heavy fighters. We're only down to $6 million, which is not enough money to do much with in this game, especially as we continue to build bigger and bigger and more powerful ships. But the initial setup is not so bad. I also should mention some of the consumables here, like spacesuits. There's no way to manufacture those. You just have to hope that they have enough on board for whatever it is that they have you there. So that's a little bit of a bummer. But beyond that, it's not too bad. All right. So I think we're in good shape. I want to wait until we have more crew on board this one before I can do anything more fun. And we need to wait for 2 more weapons officers, and I'd like some more of those. But taking a look at our sector map here, this bad boy is now discovered. We have lots of options. This is our next bad boy, this fortress. But it's going to take a little time to do that. And hopefully we have all of the information that we need to have to do this. Let me just see here. We have 15 weapons officers. I think there's 15 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so that's not an option for us. I could also get automatic loading and unloading for all that done. I'm not worried about that quite yet. I don't think we've actually seen our railguns do anything fun. All right, I want to pull that stuff back in. We are loaded up and ready to roll with so many things. Oh, I also had to make some more oxygen tanks here because the CO2 tank was filling up. So we actually filled up the huge CO2 tank and it was starting to be an issue for the ship itself somehow, which is wild to me. But let's go ahead in here and just take a look and see if there is any more in the way of crew. We got another space suit. That's good. But we're not there. So next time around, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start causing some havoc. But I love that we have our little fleet here doing its thing. This bad boy is doing its thing. Oh, is that connected? Is it? It is. Okay, cool. I don't remember redocking with that, but that's cool. And we should be in really good shape to keep doing more. Again, I need to still do more here. There's going to be another docking thing here so that we can have ships come in, unload all their, or load up all of the materials they need, and then send them out. You can see we still have lots and lots and lots of stuff that we need to do there. And we will do that next time around. But folks, thanks as always for joining me. I greatly appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.